Hello and welcome to MEIOU and Taxes. We are going to do a little bit of a preview here, what is to come in the next alpha when we release it eventually. And of course, everybody knows what will be in there, but I'm going to start with other things first. Now, there will be two new mission trees, which is for Castile and Trastamara here, or rather, Castile they form when the civil war is over, which I'm currently losing. And then you can have all these new missions here to work through, which are centered around forming Spain, of course, maybe the union with Portugal, and so on, but also getting involved in the HRE. And of course, you have the colonial tree here and your port of Sevilla, which is very important. Yeah, and there will also be a new mission tree for the lowlands here, or Dutch states which can form the Netherlands and so on. So there will be some guide what you need to do and how you get claims and so on to help you along the way. And also, of course, the most important feature everybody is waiting for is the new UI. Oh, sorry, terrible word. New UI for these provinces here. Of course, we are not fully done yet, but what you can see here is the new overview of all the information that you want in one go. You can see the population numbers here in a general overview. You can see some taxation information, but also autonomy and corruption values and where the incomes come from in this province here. And yeah, so you can see these things here, like how much do I lose to corruption and what do I actually make afterwards. But also you can see the industry information in detail here, so who is working, who owns what, and what are the throughput values of your industries here. So for example, the ship industry here has a throughput of 65%. You can see it in a quick glance here, but you can also hover over it to see further information. Most importantly, you can also do the same here on other provinces now. So therefore you have much easier access to see what other provinces are doing in detail. And for example, if you want to take them over, like Castile would with Granada, you can see what is shaping these provinces. You have currently 4 tabs available. It's the population tab, the property and industry tab, the state economics tab, so where's your money coming from in detail, and the military, so where is my money going to recruit my army, and of course the normal population and the general overview. Some things are still like before here, the buildings and taxes and so on, and institutions. It's not perfectly aligned here and everything is still under construction, but it's now usable and playable in a certain degree, and therefore we can test it out while playing and see how it feels and how it works. Another change that has snuck into everything, of course, I'm working on state property stuff, which I teased already, but also alongside went changes to the communication efficiency and buffing autonomy. There has been another change to autonomy now. So we reconstructed an old feature. Let's find a province where that is the case. No, not here. Not here either. Maybe here in the Ottomans. We can see it here already. Yeah, here it's already initialized. Apparently it wasn't yet in Spain on the February here. What we can see here is that there is now an autonomy gain from religious communities. That means that if you have minorities in your province or larger fractions of other religions, they will produce autonomy gain. Therefore, you really have to make sure to convert your realm if you don't want to have autonomy problems. Combine that with communication efficiency problems, like if it's too far away, will yield provinces with 100% autonomy really, really quickly. Therefore leading to problems like you don't get anything from taxation from there, and so on. And that's something which also found its way in here. Therefore, communication efficiency and autonomy handling is playing a bigger role. Also, there have been small buffs to taxation in general, so that you can make a little bit more cash from taxation, assuming your provinces are not completely autonomous anyway. And most notably for like feudal realms like France, Castile, and so on, it will be the dues that are getting more, which got buffed and therefore produce more income. So, for example, the rent dues and noble dues here. Of course, the income here as Trastamara are very small, but it's still 4 ducats of my 11 ducats income. And the poll taxes and land taxes are work in progress, let's call it like this. They are better now than before, but still something to work on. And also, of course, Spain is extremely feudal, so nobility has all the power they want. Therefore, there's not a lot of things you can tax except the dues from your nobles, which have to just pay a fraction of their wealth to the king. But of course, other realms here, like Ottomans and Rome, are of course much modern in their taxation already. Yeah, that's it in a quick overview. Well, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and when we are ready, of course, we are going to release it. Until then, feel free to give feedback.